This list began life as my top 5 favorite Evergreen performances. But while assembling that list, I realized I really don't possess the ability to rank the performances of my favorite living actress. They're all so nuanced and engaging and spontaneous and honest and unself-conscious. So we're not going to rank her performances as if her levels of brilliance vary from film to film. We're just going to rank the films themselves. And no, The Dreamers isn't on the list, and even if it were, I would censor it.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Number 5, Dark Shadows.
Locked in a box for 200 years.
Don't exaggerate, it was only 196.
This film needs more love. It's brilliant! A period piece within a period piece, and easily Tim Burton's darkest comedy since Edward Scissorhands. Our main character is introduced by slaughtering a dozen innocent construction workers, which is not only terrifying, but also somehow hilarious.
I am terribly sorry. Cannot imagine how thirsty I am.
And he keeps doing that throughout the film.
Please know that it is with sincere regret that I must now kill all of you.
I submit that Barnabas Collins makes for a more morally ambiguous and rougher anti-hero than anything contained in, say, the Blade franchise. But yes, Eva Green. She plays the villain, as the ultimate woman scorned. It's certainly an old archetype, but that's part of the joke. Old character types and sensibilities transplanted into the modern age. And by modern, I mean 1972. In one of the film's more brilliant visual gags, Eva Green walks past a long line of portraits of what are supposedly her ancestors, and she praises the specific virtues of each one. Not only has she had to change her appearance over the years, she's also changed her voice. European actors have historically had a hard time adopting Southern American accents, but not Eva Green.
Make the night as bright as day and burn, baby, burn.
There's a weird treble in her voice, a kind of forced affectation. I don't know if it's voluntary or not, but it highlights the character's duplicity and otherness in a way that I really enjoy. And I'm just gonna let this clip play for a bit. If this becomes the thumbnail, my views are gonna skyrocket. Holding up a mirror to you, internet. Number 4, Perfect Sense. What? Says you? Who's ever heard of this movie? I'll admit the only reason I saw it is because I see everything Eva Green does. But the logline is actually pretty interesting. A plague hits the earth, which slowly starts eliminating everyone's senses one by one. First, smell goes, then taste, then sound, then sight. With the elimination of each sense, mankind, and our 2 lead characters, are forced to figure out how to live life deprived of yet another sense. The film starts out as a horror, but it quickly morphs into a romance. A powerful romance. Maybe this is one that either clicks with you or it doesn't, but it totally did with me, and I think it's tragically underviewed. They've also got this really powerful gimmick throughout the film. Just before the disease robs you of your next sense, you're overwhelmed with an associated emotion. Like right before you lose your sense of smell, you get really, really sad. Right before you lose your sense of hearing, you get furious.
Where is it? Where are you hiding, you fucking cunt?
It serves as an ominous precursor to imminent awfulness in every scene that it's in. And it's a fantastic way to not only comment on the power of emotions and their ability to influence our behavior, but also to ratchet up the tension as well. Number 3, Casino Royale. This is not one I need to harp on too much, since it's easily the most popular film on this list. It's not only my favorite Bond film, it's also probably my favorite spy movie. Whoever thought that a 40-minute poker game could be made this interesting?
40,500,000 all in.
Or that a purple dress could be made into such an important plot point.
Weren't you supposed to enter so the others could see you?
Was I? Forgive me.
Number 2, Womb. 2 unknowns in the same top 5 list? Yes. Fun fact, this movie is called Clone in the UK, and the marketing materials emphasize Matt Smith's role in the film. Back stateside, it's called Womb, and the marketing materials emphasize Eva Green's role. Once again, I only found out about this one because I see everything that Eva Green is in, but the logline immediately had me hooked. A woman reconnects with a childhood friend, and they immediately fall in love. Maybe they're soulmates. Only a few days later, however, he's killed in a horrific car crash. But this film takes place in the near future, where human cloning is possible. Eva Green takes a sample of his DNA and regrows Matt Smith inside her body. She then raises him as her son, with the ultimate intention of... well, we're not exactly sure what her intentions are.
Now I can do whatever I want with you.
Go ahead.
Let me make clear, this is not a film about incest, and anybody who says it is doesn't know anything about science. When you clone an animal, the DNA of the host is nowhere to be found inside the DNA of the embryo. It just needs a warm, squishy place to grow. Number 1. Kingdom of Heaven. I honestly don't know why this film doesn't get more love. At the time of this filming, it's easily my most favorite historical epic ever made, matching and often surpassing the more bro-y historical epics out there. It's got spectacular set pieces, gorgeous visuals, an incredibly cathartic dramatic flow, and one of the more finely tuned moral compasses of any film I've ever seen.
What God desires is here and here.
Granted, it's also got one of the worst attempts at a St. Crispin's Day speech ever put to film.
Yes.
Spoilers going forward, just a heads up. Eva Green plays a trailblazingly complicated character, Sibylla, who eventually becomes Queen of Jerusalem. She's got an arranged marriage with a king, whom she hates, but she goes along with the setup anyway in order to protect her son, the one great love of her life.
Will I ever see France?
She falls hard for Balian, the main character, the only noble knight left in the entire city, whom she initially decides is way too good for her. But by the end of the film, he convinces her that those thoughts are nonsense so long as they're both together and happy. What's that? A historical epic that doesn't end with some overextended death scene of the protagonist and the glorification of martyrdom?
Oh dear, where am I smelling sauce?
So that's it. That's the list. 5 reasons why Eva Green is my favorite living actress. Honestly, work like hers is the kind of thing that makes me so desperate to join the movie industry and start making my own films. Which reminds me, if somebody out there watching this actually knows Eva Green and did me the unrepayable favor of passing the video along to her, and she's watching right now, I would like to just say I've got a lot of admiration for what you do. And if you're interested, I've got some scripts that I think would be perfect for you.
Don't stop believing.